Plaintiff Winona Sweet says she was adopted at the age of 2. But after doing an ancestry test, she discovered the defendant may be her half-brother. Winona claims the defendant was thrilled when he found this out, but they both want proof, so she petitioned the court for a DNA test. Defendant Frederick Day says years ago he was sentenced to life in prison for a crime he didn't commit. And after spending 10 years locked up, he ended up being the first person ever to be exonerated on DNA evidence. Frederick hopes the DNA test will prove that Winona is his sister.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
All right, and we're here to determine whether you are brother and sister?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right, give me some background here.
I've been doing a lot of research. I'm adoptee. I got adopted when I was 2 years old. And I wind up about a year ago taking the Ancestry DNA test. I found my mother, my 2 sisters, but I want to know my father's side of the family. And during the process of my journey, I came across Frederick Alonzo Day picture, and I had help tracking down Mr. Frederick, assuming and hoping he's my half-sibling. I got in contact with him and basically told him I could be your half-sister, and I'm hoping that he is my brother.
What was his response when you told him that?
He was happy.
Oh, good.
Tickle pink. I was too. And in the process of my journey, he came to visit me. And that went so well. I just felt the connection then.
So what do you think happened then? If he is your sibling, what do you think happened along the way that you did not come to know him?
No one knew anything about me on the maternal or the paternal side. My son got a DNA kit, and it went from there. I was just going off of my biological name, Maria Ann Garrison. That's the only information I had. I didn't know my mother's name. And another individual helped me put in the names in the tree. One day I woke up, got on there, and I saw this young lady on there, and it said, "That's your half-sister." Then I was shocked. I got on Facebook, I tracked her down. She called me, and she was like, "Well, I don't know no Winona Sweet. I've been looking for my sister, Anne Marie Garrison." And I said, "This is her." It went from there. And we talked, FaceTime, and then they gave me my mother's name. My sisters gave me my mother's name. And I called my mother the next day. And we've been having a relationship ever since. I flew out to Denver to lay eyes on her after going on 54 years of my life. Never knew my mom. That reunion went well. Came back home, and I wanted to start working on my dad's side. Okay. And I'm here today to find out if that is my half-brother, because I don't know anything else.
Why don't you give me some background?
Your Honor, my name is Frederick Day, and I'm really familiar with the DNA test, Your Honor. I'm actually the very first person in the world to get exonerated for crime that didn't commit through DNA testing.
Really?
Yes, sir. I spent 10 and a half years in Folsom Prison because a woman accused me of rape. I was sentenced to two life sentences plus 14 years, 8 months. Wow. I did 10 and a half years in Folsom, and it took the DNA test like 9 years to be recognized by the courts, and I just happened to be the very first case. I'm in the law books, Frederick Day versus State of California. You know, one day I get a call.
That's a movement that has freed a lot of people.
Yeah, since then it's been.
Give us the process of what occurred with your incarceration and then your exoneration.
A friend of mine, he said, ride with me, right? I said, okay. We lived in San Diego, and we lived in a little cul-de-sac. And there was these girls that babysat everybody's kids around the neighborhood, right? So they needed a ride home. So he said, come on, ride with me. I kept telling him no, you know, I didn't feel right about it. Something just said, don't go. After about half an hour, he convinced me. I rode with him. So we ride, and we get by this park, and the police stop us. He's got a faulty tail light, right? So they run his name, find out he got warrants. They put in a police car. They let the 2 girls go. Now they got me in this parking lot for like 2.5 hours, Your Honor. And I'm like, you know, so why am I here? They said, we just want to ask you some questions. I'm like, hold up. 2 other police cars pull up, and they get the whispering. Next thing I know, I'm in the back of the police car. They take me to the substation. They take 6 pictures of me. I say, why you take my picture? The man say, in case something comes up. I don't know that this woman been raped 11 days beforehand, right? So they let me go. I go home, I tell my girlfriend, something ain't right. Something ain't right. About a month later, I look up, guns in my face, in the house, everything. They arrest me, take me to jail. I get to jail, they handcuff me with this individual. Man, I don't know you. He said, I don't know you either. Now, the 2 police officers who first arrived at the scene, they tried to get the woman to identify the assailant, right? Only thing she could remember was long processed hair and dark clothing. Her hair used to be way down here then, at a perm. So,
What year was this?
1984, Your Honor. And so, they tried for 2 weeks to get her to describe her assailant. And that's the only thing she come up with. A detective told him that I had a metallic tooth. Now, when we go to court, all this other dude has to say is that he doesn't know me. They would have let me go. He pled the 5th. Once he pled the 5th, that automatically made me guilty, right? So I end up getting 2 life sentences bow-legged plus 14 years, 8 months. So if it wasn't for the DNA test, I'd still be in prison right now. And I went in 84.
Been doing a lot of research. I'm adoptee. I got adopted when I was 2 years old. And I found my mother, my 2 sisters, but I want to know my father's side of the family. And I had help tracking down Mr. Frederick, assuming and hoping he's my half-sibling.
Plaintiff Winona Sweet believes the defendant may be her half-brother, so she petitioned the court for a sibling DNA test.
And how did the DNA opportunity come up?
I was reading the Time magazine one day, and I started reading about DNA testing. They were talking about DNA testing. So I called my lawyer. Her name's Carmela Simoncini. I said, what's up with the DNA test? She said, well, let's check it out. They had already destroyed all the evidence in my case. And they were about to destroy the evidence in my so-called crime partner's case. My lawyer got up and went to the judge's house and woke him up at night. And he gave us the permission to have the rest of the guy's evidence. They just so happened to have semen stains on her pants and on her panties, right? So they had me take a DNA test. When it come back, there's no possible way it could have been me. Okay, so now I'm happy. You know, because I used to write.
What year is this now?
This is in 94.
10 years later.
Yeah. Now, the new prosecuting attorney, he comes to the prison and retests me. He retests me as he's going out the door. He said, good luck. I said, luck ain't got nothing to do with it. So they did a test. About a week later, I get a phone call. I don't get a phone call, but there's a phone call for me. Now we're on lockdown. So when there's a phone call, I'm like, oh, somebody done died in my family. Why? Not this again, you know? I go to the phone. They said, Mr. Day, do you have any appeal or anything going on? I said, nope. I've exhausted everything I could possibly exhaust. I've been all the way to the United States Supreme Court. He said, well, you're getting out in the morning. I just started crying. I started screaming. Everybody in the building started screaming. You know, I'm like, thank you, God. Thank you, God, man. After I got through screaming and stuff, I just started passing out all my stuff. Here, y'all can have this. I don't want nothing. I left out there in a pair of shorts and some turtle skin loafers. You know, for real. I ain't take nothing with me. But
God bless you. And what have you been doing since then with yourself? And how have you been helping other people?
Oh, yeah. I've had my ups and downs, you know what I'm saying? I've been on drugs before, you know what I'm saying? Went through all that. You know, I work, you know what I'm saying? I got a nice wife, beautiful wife. I talk to kids all the time. You know what I'm saying? One of my friends has a program.
I guess my advice to you is to get involved in something like the Innocence Project.
Well, I am involved in that.
That's what I'm asking.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Anything involving exonerating people who have been wrongfully convicted. That's what
Yes,
I'm
sir. I know, Peter.
That's what happened with you. That's the blessing you got.
Yeah, that's a straight blessing, Your Honor.
Okay.
Since I've been released, Your Honor, there's 322 people who've been released on the DNA test.
Good.
Yes, sir.
All right, so tell me about how you know Winona.
Well, I was at work one day, and I come home, my wife said, somebody's trying to get a hold of you. I said, who? She said, she's your sister. So I called her, we get to talking, right? We find out, you know, saying that, you know, so possible we related. So I take the bus, go down there and visit her, right? I stayed with her for like a week, met all my nieces and nephews.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we had fun.
And is there any doubt with you that you?
I feel she's my sister. If she ain't my sister, I'm still gonna say she's my sister.
Okay, any doubt with you, ma'am?
No.
Okay, let's see if there's any doubt here.
Really familiar with the DNA test, Your Honor. I'm actually the very first person in the world to get exonerated for crime that didn't commit through DNA testing.
Really?
Yes, sir. I spent 10 and a half years in Folsom Prison because a woman accused me of rape. I was sentenced to two life sentences plus 14 years, 8 months.
Plaintiff Winona Sweet believes the defendant may be her half-brother, so she petitioned the court for a sibling DNA test.
Says the chances are 0.0. So it's really zero chance.
Wow.
All right. Good luck to you guys, and hopefully you
Your Honor.
can maintain a relationship.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Thank you.
I love you still, baby. Still my sister. I don't care. Worry about it, babe. Still sister. Yeah, all right, don't worry about it. Ain't nothing gonna change. Ain't nothing gonna change. Still my sister. I'm more wanting to be your brother now than ever. You know what I'm saying? Hey, excuse me, but ain't nothing changed, babe. Ain't nothing changed. Nothing changed, believe me. I love you, man.
I love you too.